Look at that thing. Wow. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a creamy red lentil moussaka. We have some eggplant, we have some lentils. I've rinsed them. They're just sitting in water till I drain them, because if not they're all going to clump up together, so they've got a little bit of water in there. Just make sure you've got the oven on about 190. Grab yourself a tray, line it with some parchment, and we're going to slice through these aubergine, these eggplants, and we're going to put them on there with some olive oil to roast. So we got a bundle of these, and they want to be sliced about 1/4 of an inch thick. We want some decent slices. Now you can get a tape measure out if you so wish, but you know, come on. So we want them about like that, and if they go like that it doesn't matter. Okay, on there. We're not going to salt them or anything. We're just going to put them out like that roughly. We're going to chuck some olive oil on, then we're going to turn them over and do the other side. So grab yourself some olive oil, and we want some olive oil on there. Now these things soak it up like a sponge, so you're going to have to put some in there as well. And we're off. Here we go. Come on. Olive oil. Now of course you can do it with normal oil. You don't have to worry about olive oil if it's too expensive where you are. Flip them over. Because we are going to roast these and we're going to turn them halfway, if they're slightly overlapped, don't worry. Okay? Don't worry about it. In the oven. So that's going to roast in there for about 20 minutes, but we are going to turn them halfway, thereabouts. In about 15 minutes we'll turn them over. Nice and straightforward. A little saucepan, some olive oil, and we want to be sauteing our onion followed by our garlic. So in there with those onions. Now I'm using red onion, but it doesn't matter, you can use white. It's what I had. A little saute on there. Tiniest pinch of salt, just to help get that moisture out of those onions. So we want a couple of minutes on this. Chuck in your garlic. In there, garlic. So we want to be going in there with oregano and a little pinch of cinnamon, just to give it that little bit of warmth. In there with a little splash of stock. Get that in there. Oh, marvellous. What a smell. That is fantastic. In there, tomatoes. Now tomato juice is going in first, because as you know I use whole tomatoes, not chopped. So pair of scissors, chop them up, add them to your pan. Now you can go a little, half a tablespoon of tomato puree if you want it really tomatoey. We probably do that now I've said that. See, always working by on the fly. There we go, get that in there. We want it tomatoey, don't we? In it goes. In with our lentils. Now as you know, these have been rinsed. Little stir in and get your stock in. In with our stock. Now we are going to cook this for about 20 minutes, more or less the same time as that, uncovered. Cook it uncovered, and we've got to keep giving it a stir because these lentils will drop to the bottom. Now what we're looking at the lentils to be soft, and most of that fluid is going to be evaporated. Actually, the lentils are going to take it on. But you know what you have to do? You have to make sure it doesn't dry out. Keep topping up with a little bit of water or stock. I'm going to top it with water now. A little bit of water, make sure it doesn't dry out. Don't forget, just keep giving it a stir over. We don't want it sticking on the bottom of the pan. Keep an eye on your eggplant. You have to turn it halfway, put it back in. Eggplant out of there. Turn it over and back in. Right, when you've had your 20 minutes, that'll do. Get those out of there. Don't forget, they are going to be cooked more when it goes back in the oven. So we just leave those on there. They're nice and soft, look. They've still got a bit of texture. They've not completely gone soggy. That's what we're after, because we're actually going to layer up with these. This is the stage where you need to be watching your lentils. The moisture is nearly absorbed in there, so now it's absorbed. You have to make sure it doesn't burn on the bottom. Still a little bit to go there, look, but just nice and steady. Keep giving it a little turn over, don't burn it. So that is what we want. We want it like that. Look, the actual lentils have swelled up quite nicely. We want a little bit of juice in there because when it cooks in the oven, bakes in the oven, there's going to be a little bit more juice come out of these, but we don't want it to dry out. Put it to one side while we make a bechamel sauce. In your little pan, this is what I have there, a little bit of butter. Okay, a little flame on there. And we'll break all the rules for a bechamel sauce, as per usual. Little melt on that butter in there. In there. Flour. Yep, I know it's not melted. Little cook on that flour with that butter. Just melt your butter up as that flour cooks. Give it a little second in there. Cook out the rawness of that flour. And then in there with all your milk. Nice little stir around. Get that flour mixture incorporated in that milk. In there, a little bit of nutmeg. And for me, a little bit of black pepper. No salt, salt's optional. You can put salt if you want, but we're going to put cheese in here. Make it into a mayonnaise sauce. So just a nice little stir around. When it starts to thicken, we're going to chuck the cheese in there. And it will thicken, obviously, it's got flour in. And there won't be any lumps, so you don't have to part, just chuck it all in and it'll do its thing. There you go, look, that's started to thicken. That's beautiful. Make sure your flame's not too high. In there with some cheese. We're making a cheese sauce, a mayonnaise, so we're taking that bechamel to mayonnaise. Turn off the flame. We don't want it to go too thick. If it goes too thick, put a bit more milk in. There you go, perfect sauce. Let's start assembling our dish. Okay, take our aubergine, take a suitable dish that you're going to use. This is about 11 by 9, but a 9 by 9, 23 by 23. Anything like that will be fine. So what we're doing is putting some of our aubergine in there. Now, put the ones that are not so good to the bottom and keep the good ones for the top. Common sense that, isn't it? So a nice layer of aubergine in there, and you need to guesstimate how much you're going to want to go over the top. So that's about got it, haven't it, in the bottom of there. And basically it's put all those lentils and that tomato in there. Look at that. Sensational. You know, and I'm going to do a little sneaky one here actually. I'm going to put a layer of cheese in there. Not much cheese because I want to put some over the top. But you know, I want to pep it up with flavour. That'll do. Right, over the top at there with your aubergine. Well, I think that was a good guesstimate, don't you? And straight down there with our cheese sauce, our Mornay. I think we've got more than enough on there. I can see that bubbling over. Optional, but it's got to be done. On a tray, that is going to bubble. Okay, there you are. That is looking absolutely fabulous. That goes in the oven. It's going to bake for about 25-30 minutes, somewhere around about there. Nice golden crust. Everything's cooked inside. It's probably going to bubble over a little bit. So be it. Come on. I think that's about got it. Look at that thing. Wow, that is a stunner. Look at that. Now, we're definitely going to let this cool down about 10 minutes before getting in there. That looks fantastic. Oh, beautiful. Come on, I think we need to be in. Oh, that looks a bit special. We are in. Oh, man. Oh, yes, please. On there. On there with a bit of parsley. So there we go. That's our red lentil moussaka. Come on. Lentils still have a little bit of texture. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, there's our aubergine there. Got a bit of lentils, we got the cheese, we got a bit of tomato. And that is exceptional. Look at that. Aubergine, cheese, tomato, lentils, bit of parsley. Oh, absolutely beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful plate full of food right there. This is absolutely stacked with goodness. And you know, for a change, it's delicious. You don't need the meat. So there you go. That is our creamy with the cheese red lentil moussaka made. Beautiful dish. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, share with your friends. Tell them. I mean, look at that. It's stunning. How easy it is to make this. And if you do like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video. Oh wow.